Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman, and I discuss things of the horror nature. And today I'm talking about the slasher classic Prom Night. And I'm using the word classic loosely here. Classic in that maybe cult classic, I suppose. But good film? We'll see. This is a immediate follow-up to Halloween and Friday the 13th. So this is in the aftermath of the early slasher. So this isn't in the midst of the well-developed, well-defined slasher genre that comes later. This is early slasher. So it is a slasher. This is not a proto-slasher. This is full-on slasher. But like Halloween, this is a 90-minute movie where the action, the killing, doesn't happen until an hour into the movie. Unlike Halloween, you don't have an escaped serial killer stalking the babysitter the whole movie, giving you that creepy vibes, which you may or may not like depending on your preferences. Instead, what you get is a really bad imitation of a John Hughes teen flick. And what I mean by that is it's called Prom Night. So the premise is you have a group of teenagers who are getting ready for the prom. But like Halloween, there is a setup. In Halloween, and I have to reference, this is a Halloween copycat. This is a carbon copy of Halloween, cut and paste is essentially what this is. So I'm going to reference Halloween a lot. So like Halloween, where you have the beginning where the little boy murders his sister, you have a group of kids who kill a girl who's there. These are preteens who, I would say 10-year-olds maybe, who kill a 10-year-old girl. It's an accident, kind of, and I say kind of, but it's also kind of not an accident in that they weren't being very careful. So it could have been intentional? Question mark. It's a little ambiguous. But needless to say, 6 years later, it's now prom night, and these preteens are now full-blown teenagers with raging hormones, obviously. And so they're pairing off one by one and, into, dates for the movie, for the prom. And what you get is, like I said, a really crappy John Hughes knockoff. You get the Laurie Strode character, who is it's Jamie Lee Curtis again, but she's not a babysitter this time. She's just a teenager looking for a date, who is the outcast and unpopular. And then you've got the cliquey kids, and it's rubbish. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The teenage portion of this movie is bullshit and no good. It doesn't make any fucking sense. You just got stupid scenes like them fighting over a table in the lunchroom, or going for a walk on the beach, or you've got the kids gathering at the food hop, whatever it's called, the car hop or whatever it's called. It's just, your typical fucking teen movie. Only it's not interesting. There's no comedy. There's nothing fun about it. It's ominous the whole time. So it's like you've got this. I'm going to compare it to 16 Candles. Take 16 Candles, but take all the fun out of it. You're going through the motions, but you have no personality. The characters have no personality and no character development. And you have a subplot, which is a red herring. I'm going to spoil the movie. Where they want you to believe that there's an escaped serial killer. Not necessarily serial killer, but escaped, we're going to say maniac, because I think that's the word they use in the movie. Who is coming to town, and they're scared that it's going to turn into Halloween. That he's going to kill all the kids. And then the prom starts. And then it turns into Saturday Night Fever. So then you get kids dancing to disco music, and you get a dance off, and you get the prom king and queen. Only at the presentation of the king and queen, the king gets his head cut off and rolls down the runway, and everybody scatters because, oh shit, there's a killer on the loose. And you get the chase / confrontation between the final girl and the killer, who the killer has already picked off a couple of other teenagers by this point, but I'm glossing over that because these are boring, forgettable fucking kills that they just sort of happen, and then you're just like, as you're watching this movie, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot it was supposed to be a slasher movie. Because you were bored out of your skull with the uninteresting 16 Candles knockoff. 16 Candles. I mean Pretty in Pink. I mix those two up. Whatever. The John Hughes movie that's hidden underneath this fucking Halloween ripoff. And you get one good kill, the decapitation, and that's it. You get to the end of the movie and you find out that the killer is not who you thought it was. Spoilers. But the killer is also out of left field. There's literally no build-up, no setup, no hint, or it's just a random fucking kid. No explanation at all. Literally just a random fucking kid killing everybody. No ties to the beginning of the movie. No connection to the victim or the victim's sister, who is Jamie Lee Curtis. Literally just some random fucking kid. I've seen this movie 3 times, and I still can't fucking recommend this movie. I wanted to like it because I'm supposed to like it, because this is another one of those slashers you're supposed to like, and I love slashers. For the most part. But I can't get into this movie. I cannot recommend this movie. Now, there is, I believe, a remake of this movie that may or may not be worth checking out, so I'll come back to you on that once I do some more digging. But as it stands, the 1980, 81-ish Jamie Lee Curtis Prom Night is fucking rubbish. And, I mean, if by some godforsaken chance you did like Halloween, maybe you'll like this one too. But if Halloween bored the snot out of you because nothing fucking happens for 60 minutes, this movie's going to bore the snot out of you too because nothing fucking happens for 60 minutes. So, be warned. This is another one of those slogs. And it's a rent at best. I don't recommend this movie. I did not have fun watching this movie. I watched it 3 times because the first time I watched it, I was playing Minecraft, so it was on for background noise. The second time I watched it, I was playing around on Twitter, so I wasn't, like, paying full attention to it. The third time, I was, I paid attention to it. I had nothing else going on but the movie. And I still couldn't get into this fucking movie. So there you go.